Now I request His Holiness Maharaj to please address the audience and word of blessings.
I am very honored, very grateful to be with you today. Very special gratitude to our honored guests, presenters, to the organizers, and to each and every one of you who have come. One great visionary and saint of India has stated, where there's the greatest necessity, there is the greatest opportunity to serve. Today's world, on so many levels, especially including the ecology of the world, there is a great necessity. We can be depressed, confused, or we could be activated with enthusiasm and compassion to make a difference in how we think, how we interact with each other, how we live. From a Vedic perspective, the purification or the cleansing of the ecology must be done harmoniously and simultaneously with cleansing the ecology of our own hearts. The world is polluted because the mind of humanity is so much plagued by the disease of greed and arrogance. The Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, Krishna tells a simple, universal formula for peace. Bhoktaram jagatapasam sarvalokamaheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti mrichyati. The principle here is that we are not the proprietors of the things of this world. We are born, we grow, we may produce some offspring, we get old, we die. We cannot take anything with us. In India, during a funeral at the cremation grounds, there's no pockets in the sheet that covers you, because you cannot take even a single paisa with you. So really, who does everything belong to? Who is it that is the supreme proprietor? There are many names and many religious traditions for that supreme proprietor. We have been entrusted with sacred property. We are not the owners, but we are caretakers. Caretakers of our own bodies, our intelligence, our abilities, our possessions, our family members, humanity, all living beings, and all the various resources of Mother Earth. The very basis of culture is respect. Where there's no respect, there's a miserable situation vulnerable to conflict and pollution everywhere. In the Vedic literatures, the concept of Mother Nature is developed in deep sociological, philosophical, and practical ways. Bhumi is Mother Earth. Shakti and Shaktiman, This God is the supreme energetic source, and material nature, Mother Earth, are all the feminine, motherly aspect or Shakti of that same supreme source. The concept of yoga means harmony. Living in such a way that our body, our mind is in harmony with our eternal soul. Our soul is living in harmony with all other living beings and with the environment around us. Our body, our mind, our words are living in harmony with God. That takes a perspective, a vision wherein we see Sarvagoni Shikontiya Murtiya Sabhavantiya. Everyone is coming from the same father and mother. All living beings are in truth our brothers and sisters. Pandita Samadarshana. True culture, true wisdom is not based on how many degrees we have, how much wealth we have, how many followers or fame we have. That's all very cheap, superficial stuff. True wealth, true wisdom is the capacity to see every living being with equal vision. This is a universal principle. The first and great commandment of the Western religions is to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and to love your neighbor as yourself. Everyone is our neighbor. Whatever our religion, whatever our race, whatever our nationality, sex, or social status, we're all neighbors. When we understand the sanctity of who we are, we understand the sanctity at the heart of life. Life is sacred. If we can't understand the sacredness of our own life, we cannot recognize it in others. That not only includes all humanity, but the animals and the birds and the trees. Life is sacred. We cannot love God without loving everything that is coming from God. Environmentalism, from a Vedic perspective, is not just leaving the world a better place than we came. It's an inseparable, integrable, prioritized aspect of Dharma, or our spiritual path, our relationship with God. When we understand this principle, that all living beings are our brothers and sisters, and I am caretaker of the sacred property that is around us, then we really begin a life of true Dharma. Spirituality is not meant to divide humanity from each other, divide us from the animal kingdom, and especially divide us from our respectful, dependent nature toward Mother Earth. It's supposed to bring us together. If a house is built on crumbling soil, when a storm comes, it will fall. If it is built on solid rock, it will stand. There are many storms that come in this world. The storms of our own greed, selfishness, arrogance, envy, and the storms of so many economic and social challenges. Greatness is in the face of these storms, we live with integrity. We live speak, act on the foundation of higher values. And the highest of all values is karuna, compassion. It's empty, to a large extent, to show compassion to our family members or other living beings when we're not showing compassion to Mother Earth, because everyone is dependent on her gifts. Environmental, ecological sensitivity is inseparable from how we treat everyone. To see opportunities. In this building that we're in, the bricks are made from the ground that we walk on, compressed and sun-dried. We walk on the ground. We throw things on the ground. Do we recognize the value, the potential? I think we've made about 400,000 bricks from our soil. That's where our conferences are being held. That's where we're living. Our guests are staying. Such an incredible potential. With minimal pollution. The sun is shining in the sky. The earth is providing soil. And humanity has a little strength to compress things. Put it together and you could build houses. Vision that is required so much in this world is to see positive potentials in our everyday misconceptions of waste. Sewage is generally considered a waste. And it's polluting so many of the oceans and so many of the rivers and so many of the lakes and so much of the soil. If we understand its potential, sewage, because it's natural. Whoever eats something, it's going to come out the other side. What are we going to do with that? Are we going to see it as a problem, or are we going to see it as an asset? It is an asset. That's what science and technology really needs to focus on. Where our natural resources are assets rather than problems. To understand that a polluted mind is going to pollute the environment. There's no reason whatsoever for pollution. Our Govardhan Eco-Village is a humble attempt to try to create a small model to show the possibilities to the villages around us and to human society throughout the world. It's an adventure. It's exciting to live in harmony with our own human nature, to live in harmony with our souls, to live in harmony with the animals and with other living beings. One of the amazing things of Govardhan Eco-Village is all of these natural technologies that have been developed. They're all born of a harmony. Of people who have lived in cities and gotten PhDs and master's degrees at such educational institutions as IIT and MIT and Harvard, and simple villagers who really don't have much of any education, but they have natural talents that have been passed down through generations. The harmony of working together. And that working together is born of respect. Trying to see the good, trying to see the value and the contributions that we could all make. this body has different organs and different limbs, and they all have different shapes and different colors and different functions. The heart cannot do what the brain does, and the brain cannot do what the pancreas does, and the pancreas cannot do what the kidneys do. But they're not conflicting with each other, that I am more important than you. Even the little toe, when a thorn goes in the little toe, every part of the body focuses on trying to heal it. That's harmony. It's not who's big and who's small. We all have a contribution to make to the whole body of creation, of humanity. Symbiotic biotechnology is based on this principle. To try to create a spirit of living in harmony with the earth, in harmony with each other, with respect, with compassion, to create models, to provide education, real activism based on true compassion. That is our hope that will come from this very, very wonderful conference that has been organized. The monsoon rains, we have our umbrellas, but every drop of rain is sacred. If we understand its value, there won't be drought. Our Dr. Singh has been teaching people all over the world this principle. That's the spirit of true Dharma. Thank you very much.